What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. I'm seeing where there's a jail in Manatee County in Florida that has decided to not evacuate the inmates um, as the storm Hurricane Milton approaches. This storm is set to be pretty big, pretty catastrophic in nature. Last I checked, it was downgraded from a 5 to a 3. But anybody who knows anything about hurricanes, lives in these regions, familiar with it, 3 ain't no joke. 3 is not no walk through the park. So you got like about 1,200 inmates that are in this jail in Florida. And by the way, the jail itself is located in an evacuation zone, in a zone where typically it's like if you were in that area, they recommend for you to go. So now they're saying that they're just gonna move the inmates up to a higher floor and put sandbags and all this different stuff. I mean, and here's the deal, man. The treatment of an individual just because they may be incarcerated, it shouldn't change due to your situation. They should absolutely be making moves and steps if it's not too late already to get these inmates out of there. That was a situation with Katrina where they left like some inmates and locked up, and like 500 and some inmates drowned because they were not evacuated. And as soon as something like that happens, then all of a sudden they start making these different excuses and trying to proclaim, well, we thought. Meanwhile, people have lost their lives, and families are being notified that their loved ones who were incarcerated are, no longer around. Um, these storms are getting increasingly more uh, dangerous and more catastrophic as we move further into the judgment of America. And a lot of people like to give credit to HARP and different ways that different weather manipulation um, agencies, if you will. But this is judgment weather, man, and there's no way around it. These things are coming back to back, and uh, I saw a picture of a line of people evacuating Florida that was very reminiscent of a situation we had in Texas probably about 15 years ago, somewhere along those lines. But people getting out, and as people are getting out, it's a slow process to evacuate because you got this big line of cars, this big line of traffic, people trying to get somewhere safe. And meanwhile, the ones who are left behind, they're left behind to deal with whatever's going to come with this storm and the aftermath. And hopefully, uh, prayerfully, people can make it out okay. But it has to be a defenseless scenario when you don't even have the option to leave. If you're in your home or wherever, you can say, okay, I can leave or I can decide to stay. But if you're locked up in a jail, then your fate is determined by somebody else's decision. And the governor, um, he even warned about how significant this impact is going to be of this storm, man. So that got to be a scary feeling, for those people. And I've seen some pretty insensitive comments from people saying, "Oh well, hey, once you decided to go to jail, you chose your fate," and all this different stuff that I've seen read comments about people said. And okay, yeah, you're in jail for whatever it is you may be in jail for, but when you talk about 1,200 people, I'm sure there are people in there who, first of all, they should evacuate everybody. Let me get that straight. But I'm sure there are people in there who didn't do it. I'm sure there are people in there who did something lightweight. So don't try to turn it into, well, if you wouldn't have went to jail, you wouldn't have to worry about this. Regardless of the situation, those inmates should have been evacuated the minute the the severity, the potential severity of this storm was understood and recognized, that should have been something that was taken into account and acted upon immediately. Um, Nobody deserves to have to sit in that. And in particular, as I mentioned earlier, with this jail being in an evacuation zone, you're right there in a pocket where normally people are getting out. I'm sure if there are any houses or any residential areas around there, I'm sure they have gotten away from there. They have either evacuated or found somewhere else to get to. So, as the state and local officials urge Florida residents from all over to evacuate um, as Hurricane Milton approaches, then why aren't those same people making sure that they get those people out? I just y'all can tell me what y'all think. I mean, I guess people are gonna say what, but I just don't feel like they should leave those folks in there, man. This storm has fluctuated from a 5 to a 4 to a 3, or whatever it is, man. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous, and they're just coming off of one. I think Helene just hit in that area. I know they got some of that action, and now Milton is doing what we call backdooring and coming in right behind it. The people at the jail are saying, well, this jail's never flooded like that. We haven't had those problems. But, you know, unprecedented things are happening. Unprecedented weather patterns are taking place all the time. So just because it hasn't happened this time and you're confident about the structure, when God decides he want to tear it up, he can tear it up. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this, man. And leave your comments below. And we praying for the people of Florida, and everybody that's in the path of that storm, man. All right. Catch y'all later on. Peace.